In this video, we're going to show you the perfect itinerary for northern Portugal. One of the questions we get asked most is how to build an itinerary that combines the city of Porto with the nation's birthplace, Guimarães, and the religious city of Braga. To do this trip comfortably and truly enjoy it, we recommend at least 7 days. That's why we've prepared a super complete 7-day itinerary with the best of northern Portugal, detailed day by day. If you have less time, you can cut the day trips, but it would be a shame. So let's get started. When is the best time to visit northern Portugal? In our opinion, the best times are spring, from April to June, and fall, in September and October. The weather is perfect, not too hot and not too cold. The fall is especially beautiful if you decide to extend to the Douro because of the grape harvest. We recommend avoiding July and August. It's summer, and it gets very hot. Porto also gets very crowded. Winter, from November to March, is very rainy and cold, which can ruin the walking tours. So, how will our 7-day itinerary work? The idea is to use Porto as a single base, staying at the same hotel for the entire trip. Porto is the capital of the region, has the best hotel and restaurant infrastructure, and has the perfect train connections for our day trips. The secret to this itinerary is using public transport. We'll explore Porto on foot and by tram, and we'll use the excellent and cheap trains for day trips to Braga and Guimarães. Now, let's talk about transportation between cities. For this itinerary, the rule is clear. Do not rent a car. You do not need a car, and it will be a big hassle. The best way to arrive is to fly into Porto Airport. From there, the metro, Line E, takes you to the city center in 30 minutes and costs about €2. It's very easy. To get around inside Porto, the rule is to walk. The city is compact, but be prepared for the steep hills. Use the metro or the trams for long climbs. Uber and Bolt work very well and are very cheap. Do not rent a car in Porto. Traffic is difficult and parking is nearly impossible. To go from Porto to Braga or Guimarães, the best way is the urban train, Comboio. The journey to both cities takes about 1 hour and 15 minutes and costs less than €4 each way. You can buy the ticket at the station from São Bento or Campanha. Staying in a good area will make your trip much easier. You'll be close to all these tourist spots. Since Porto will be our base, let's focus on it. The two best regions are Ribeira and Baixa Aliados. Ribeira is where the colorful houses are by the river. The pro is the spectacular view and charm. The con is that it's very touristy, noisy at night, and full of steep hills to get to with luggage. The Baixa area, near Avenida dos Aliados and São Bento Station, is, in our opinion, the most practical. It's flatter, has more shops, local restaurants, and you're right next to the train station for day trips, and the metro. You can also stay in Vila Nova de Gaia, on the other side of the river. The pro is the incredible view of Porto and being near the wine cellars. The con is having to cross the bridge every time you want to go to Porto Center. We created this custom map, which explains exactly which is the best region. If you stay in the Baixa or Aliados area, you can't go wrong. We'll leave the link to this map here on the QR code on the screen and in the video description. We created it on the hotel site we always use, as it always has the best prices. There, you can put in your travel dates and see all the hotel options within that location, at the lowest prices. We'll also leave links to the hotels where we've stayed. In every destination, we always recommend one that is very cheap and super well located, and another that's a bit nicer, in the same location, but a little more expensive. They are great options. An important tip to save on lodging is the advanced booking strategy. The earlier you book your hotel, the less you will pay. This is why we love using this website. Besides having the lowest prices, it has free cancellation for almost all hotels. You can book as early as possible to guarantee a much lower price. And if you need to cancel later, it's super easy and costs nothing. And remember that in the link below, we always organize everything you need to plan your entire trip for the best price. The sites we use to plan our trips, and that have everything much cheaper. Travel eSIM, travel insurance at half price, tickets for all attractions, good and cheap hotels we've stayed at, cheap car rentals, and the global account, to carry money paying much lower fees. And the links already contain automatic discounts, as we are always updating them. So save and use this page that will make your trip much easier. Now, let's get to the day-by-day plan. Day 1. Arrival in Porto, Ribeira, and Dom Luís Bridge. Arrive at Porto Airport, OPO. Take the E-Line, Purple, Metro, and get off at Trindade or Bolão Station. Go to your hotel and check in. Spend the afternoon exploring the most famous area, the Ribeira district. Walk down to the bank of the Douro River, stroll along the Cais da Ribeira. Admire the colorful houses and the Rabelo boats. Then cross the Dom Luís First Bridge on foot. You must cross on the upper deck, where the metro runs. The view of Porto and Gaia from up there is the most beautiful photo of the trip. For dinner, Ribeira is very touristy and expensive. We recommend Taberna dos Mercadores, which is fantastic but tiny and requires a reservation. Or walk uphill a bit to streets like Rua das Flores for more authentic options. Day 2. Porto, São Bento, Lelo, and Clérigos. Today is for exploring the Baixa, the upper part of the city. Start the day at São Bento. Station entry is free. Go into the main hall and admire the more than 20,000 blue and white tiles that tell the history of Portugal. It's one of the most beautiful train stations in the world. From there, walk up the hill to Livraria Lello. It's the stunning bookstore with the red staircase and stained glass ceiling. To visit, you need to buy a voucher, which costs €5. This amount is deducted if you buy a book. The line is gigantic, so buy your timed entry ticket online. Next to Lello, climb the Clérigos Tower. The ticket costs €8. It's a narrow climb of 240 steps, but the 360-degree view of Porto from the top is unmissable. For lunch, let's try the most famous dish in Porto. The Francis Café Santiago, nearby, is the most traditional. It's a giant sandwich with steak, sausage, and ham, covered in melted cheese and a hot beer and tomato sauce. It costs about €12. In the afternoon, walk along Rua de Santa Catarina, the main shopping street, and visit the Chapel of Souls. A church covered in blue tiles on the outside entry is free. Day 3. Day trip to Braga, the Portuguese Rome. Today we'll visit the religious capital of Portugal. Go to São Bento or Campanha station and take the urban train to Braga. The journey takes about 1 hour and 15 minutes and costs less than €4 each way. Arriving at Braga station, take a taxi or a local bus, line 2, to the main attraction, which is outside the city, the Bom Jesus do Monte Sanctuary. It's an incredible sanctuary on a hilltop. You can walk up the monumental zigzagging Baroque staircase, or as we recommend, take the water-powered funicular. It's the oldest in the world. The ride-up costs about €1.50. The view and the church are beautiful. For lunch, eat in the center of Braga. In the afternoon, explore Braga's historic center on foot. Visit the Braga Cathedral, the oldest in Portugal. The ticket costs about €5. Walk through the Arco da Porta Nova. In the late afternoon, take the train back to Porto. Day 4. Day trip to Guimarães, the birthplace of Portugal. Today we're going to the city where Portugal was born. Again, take the urban train from São Bento, but take the line for Guimarães. The journey also takes about 1 hour and 15 minutes and costs less than €4. From Guimarães station, walk to the Holy Hill. Start at Guimarães Castle. It's a classic 10th century medieval castle. The ticket costs only €2. Next to it, visit the Palace of the Dukes of Braganza. It's an impressive palace with Flemish tapestries. The ticket costs €5. For lunch, walk down to the historic center. Largo da Oliveira is the most charming square, full of restaurants with outdoor seating. In the afternoon, explore the historic center of Guimarães, a UNESCO World Heritage Site. Get lost in the stone alleys, see Praça de Santiago, and look for the wall that says, Aqui nasceu Portugal. Portugal was born here. In the late afternoon, take the train back to Porto. An important tip that will save you time and money is to buy tickets for attractions and tours in advance. Buying on the spot is always more expensive, and the most famous tourist spots like Livraria Lello and the port wine cellars often sell out days before. We'll leave the link on the QR code on the screen and in the description to the site where we always buy tickets and tours for the best price. It's the largest tour site in the world and has practically everything there. Tickets for Livraria Lello, tickets for the Clérigos Tower, tickets for Guimarães Castle, and port wine tasting tours, all at the best price, and you can buy in any currency, saving on fees. Day 5. Vila Nova de Gaia and the port wine cellars. Today we'll explore the other side of the river. Check out of your hotel if it's your last day, or just cross the Dom Luís I Bridge on foot. This time, cross on the lower deck. You'll arrive in Vila Nova de Gaia. The waterfront in Gaia is where all the great port wine cellars are. You must take a guided tour of a cellar. We recommend booking in advance. Sandeman is famous, Taylor's has a modern tour and a beautiful view, and Graham's is more exclusive and up the hill. A guided tour with a tasting of 2 or 3 wines starts at €20 per person. For lunch, the tip is the Mercado Beira Rio. It's Porto's version of the Time Out Market. It's a modern food hall with chef's kiosks, pork sandwiches, and wine. It's great and fairly priced. In the afternoon, if you want a different, incredible view, take the Gaia cable car. It goes from the waterfront to the top of the hill. The one-way trip costs €6. Day 6. Porto, Bolhão, Foz do Douro, and shopping. On your second-to-last day, let's explore other parts of Porto. Start the morning at the newly renovated Mercado do Bolhão. It's Porto's municipal market, a beautiful iron building. It's great for seeing fresh produce, buying canned goods, and souvenirs. Afterward, walk down Rua de Santa Catarina, the main shopping street stop for a coffee at Café Majestic. It's the most beautiful and historic cafe in the city. It's expensive, a coffee can cost €5, but the Art Nouveau atmosphere is an attraction. In the afternoon, take the tram line 1. It's the old tram that goes from Ribeira to Foz do Douro, where the river meets the ocean. The ride is beautiful, right along the riverbank, and costs about €3.50. Get off at Foz, walk along the promenade, see the Felgueiras Lighthouse, and feel the Atlantic breeze. For your farewell dinner, go back to Baixa and go to Casa Guedes. It's the most famous place to try the sanduíche de pernil, roast pork sandwich, with mountain cheese. It costs about €7 and is divine. Day 7. Departure from Porto. On your last day, enjoy the morning buying any last-minute souvenirs. Buy a bottle of port wine that you liked at the tasting in Gaia. Depending on your flight time, have lunch in the center. Afterward, take the Metro, Line E, the Purple Line, from any central station like Trindade or Boulogne. The Metro takes you directly inside Porto Airport, OPO, in about 30 minutes. About travel insurance. Essential and mandatory to enter Europe. You need coverage of €30,000. Use the comparator in the link in the description to save money. Quick shopping tips. Rua de Santa Catarina for normal stores. Buy port wine in Gaia, cork products, tiles, and canned sardines. Remember tax-free on purchases over €50. Validate at the Porto airport. And for those who are new here to the channel, welcome. Subscribe and like the video for more tips. And how much does it cost to eat in Porto? It's paradise. It's very cheap. A Big Mac combo costs €7. A Superboc beer costs €1.50. The golden tip is the Prato do Dia, dish of the day, at lunch. For €10, you get a full meal. The francesinha at Café Santiago costs €12. The pork sandwich at Casa Guedes costs €7. And the tip is kind to leave, about 10%. And what to do at night? The night is buzzing on Rua das Galerias de Paris. The bars are tiny and the party happens in the street. In Ribeira, the bars are calmer and more touristy. And if you're traveling with children, Porto is great. They'll love the Six Bridges cruise on the Douro River. The ticket costs about €15. They also like climbing the Clérigos Tower. Guimarães Castle is perfect for them. And the Bom Jesus funicular in Braga is also a great activity. And to combine your trip, this itinerary is already a great combination. But from Porto, the most famous trip is to the Douro Valley. We recommend renting a car and sleeping there. You can also take the Alpha Pendular high-speed train and be in Lisbon in 3 hours and 15 minutes. Or go north to Spain and visit Santiago de Compostela. If you liked this detailed Northern Portugal itinerary, like the video and subscribe to our channel. Leave your questions in the comments. Thank you very much and have a great trip.